Dear students, myself Dr. Mallikarjun S. Biradar, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, Government First Grade College, Basava Kalyan. Now the 42nd session of Graph Theory 2, the title is A Result on Chromatic Number of a Graph and its Complement 2. So the title is same as that of the session 41 and 42, but results are different. Okay, so that's why I have considered this a session. So let us see what is the result in this session. Okay, already in the previous class, of course, the result is based on the graph and its complement. Okay, so in the previous class also we have recapitulated what is the complement of a graph. So let me recall once again what is the complement of a graph. Suppose if you consider G is a graph with vertex set Vg. G is a graph with vertex set V, or you can say V of G. Then the complement of a graph G bar is the graph with the same vertex set as that of G. That is, the vertex set of G and G bar is Vg. Okay, but two vertices are adjacent in G bar if they are not adjacent in G. Okay, so if they are not adjacent in G, they are adjacent in G bar. If they are not adjacent in G bar, they are adjacent in G. Okay, so overall conclusion is that two vertices are adjacent in G bar if they are not adjacent in G. Okay, but if we consider the sum of the edges in G and G bar, can you recall what would be the sum of the edges in G and G bar? So you just think in your mind. So G is a graph, G bar is its complement, vertices are same. Okay, so you just try to draw with the shaded lines which are not adjacent in G. So those will be the edges in G bar. So if you join with the shaded lines between non-adjacent vertices in G, what you will get? You will get a complete graph. You will get a complete graph. It implies the number of edges in G and G bar is equal to as that of the number of edges in the complete graph with p number of vertices. Okay, so very interesting, isn't it? So therefore, what would be the number of edges in a complete graph with p vertices? That already you know, you should remember. Okay, so the number of edges in a complete graph with p vertices is pc2. Okay, so pc2, or you can say p into p minus 1 divided by 2. That is the total number of edges in a complete graph. Okay, so what I am going to say is that, so the complement of a graph and the graph, so vertices are same, but two vertices are adjacent if they are not adjacent in G, or if two vertices are adjacent in G bar, they are not adjacent in G. So one and the same, vice versa. Okay, so overall conclusion is that the total number of edges, if you count in G as well as in G bar, so that constitutes the number of edges in the complete graph, because G bar we are completing, or we are joining two non-adjacent vertices of G. So all together, both together, it will be a complete graph. So that will be the number of edges as that of the complete graph of a G. Okay. So already we have again recapitulated the concept of complement of a graph. So the complement of a graph G has Vg as its vertex set, but the two vertices are adjacent in G bar. So G bar is the notation for complement of a graph if they are not adjacent in G. Okay, already we took some examples. The complement of Kp is a totally disconnected graph with p vertices, because already in Kp, two vertices, every pair of its vertices are adjacent in a complete graph. When every pair of vertices are adjacent in the complete graph, none of the vertices are adjacent in its complement. So it implies the complement of Kp will be totally disconnected graph, okay, with p number of vertices. Similarly, the complement of C5 is again C5, that you can try at yours so in your own way. So try to find the complement of C5 and you will come to know that it is isomorphic with again the graph C5. Okay, so such graphs are called a self-complementary graph. Similarly, if I consider a path with four vertices, again if I ask you to draw the complement, again it contains same number of vertices, four vertices only, but if you come to know the graph of P4, the complement of P4, again it is isomorphic with P4 only. So again P4 is a self-complementary graph. So that's why the graph C5 as well as P4 both are self-complementary. It implies its complement is again isomorphic with the graph. Okay. So therefore we come to know what is the complement of a graph, what is self-complementary graph. Self-complementary graph is also a complementary graph. So why we have recalled once again? Because the result is on chromatic number of a graph and its complement. So for that reason we have recalled what is the complement of a graph. So now as we have got the result in the previous session, similarly we have got the result, so in different form. Okay, for any graph G with P vertices, there also it was any graph with P number of vertices. Okay, the sum and product of the chromatic number of G and the chromatic number of G bar satisfies the inequalities. So there also it was the same statement, but the results were different. So there also it was for any graph G with P vertices, the sum and product of chromatic number of G and chromatic number of G bar, that is the complement of G, satisfy the inequalities. The results were different. Here slight difference. What is that? Let me see this one. Okay. The chromatic number of G plus the chromatic number of G bar is less than or equal to P plus 1. So you can say it is an upper bound for the sum of the chromatic number of G and G bar. So the chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar is always less than or equal to the number of vertices of a graph G plus 1. Okay, and if you find the product of the chromatic number of G and G bar, the product of those two, it is always less than or equal to P plus 1 by 2 square, whole square. So the square of P plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, now we try to prove the result. Okay, let us consider the proof. We prove the result by using induction on P. So that is the mathematical induction. Okay, mathematical induction is a powerful tool to prove any some of the results in mathematics. It is very powerful tool. So first we prove the result is true for P equal to 1. Okay, consider P equal to 1. If P equal to 1, what would be the graph? A graph with only one vertex. So there is no edge at all. It implies its complement is again the same graph. That is a trivial graph because the vertices are same in G and G bar. Okay, so the result is true for P equal to 1. Obviously it is true. Okay, because the chromatic number of a graph with only one vertex is again 1. So there also it is 1. So 1 plus 1 if you add, that is chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar, that is 1 plus 1. So it is always less than or equal to. P is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 is less than or equal to 2. It's very obvious. Similarly, if you consider the product 1 into 1, it is 1 only. 1 into 1 is 1 only. So it is less than or equal to P plus 1, that is 1 plus 1. 2 by 2 is 1. So 1 square is again 1. So the result is very obvious. Okay. So assume the result is true. That is, assume that for all graphs G1, we are considering another graph G1 with P minus 1 vertices. It implies, assume that the result is true for a graph with P minus 1 vertices. Okay, this is our assumption. Now let the graph be with P vertices. G1 is a graph with P minus 1 vertices and the result is true. That is our assumption. Let G be a graph with P number of vertices. And what we are going to consider, let G and G bar be complementary graphs. I forgot to mention G bar here. So let G and G bar be complementary graphs with P vertices because vertex set is same in G and G bar. And let V be a vertex of G. One arbitrary vertex V of the graph G. Then if I consider the graph G1, you just see the previous step. G1 is a graph with P minus 1 vertices. So if I delete a vertex from the graph G, what happens? So one vertex is deleted from graph G. It implies the graph G minus 1 has P minus 1 vertices. It implies it is equal to, you can say, the graph G1. So then G1 is equal to G minus V. So therefore, if I find the complement of G1, that is G1 bar, so what it would be? it would be just complement of G minus V. So therefore, these two are complementary graphs with P minus 1 vertices. So let us consider degree of a vertex of the graph G. V is a vertex of the graph G. So what would be the degree of that vertex in the graph G? Say let us it is D, small d. Then degree of the same vertex V in G bar is equal to, what would be the degree? So when it is of degree D, then it will be of degree P minus D minus 1. P, total number of vertices, because when you are deleting a vertex, okay, so just you have to think. So it is P minus D minus 1. Okay, so therefore, obviously, if I consider the chromatic number of G, it is always less than or equal to chromatic number of G1 plus 1. It's very obvious. And the chromatic number of G bar is always less than or equal to the chromatic number of G1 bar plus 1. If either, that is the chromatic number of G is less than chromatic number of G1 plus 1, or the chromatic number of G bar is less than chromatic number of G1 bar plus 1, then if we add the chromatic number of G and the chromatic number of G bar, it is always less than or equal to P plus 1. This implies that the removal of V from G produces G1. So decrease the chromatic number so that D is greater than or equal to the chromatic number of G1. Similarly, P minus D minus 1 is always greater than or equal to the chromatic number of the complement of G1. So thus what we can conclude? So we can conclude the chromatic number of G plus the chromatic number of G bar is always less than or equal to P minus 1. So therefore, what we can conclude? So xi of G plus xi of G bar is always less than or equal to P plus 1, because when it is less than or equal to P minus 1, so it is very obvious that it is less than or equal to P plus 1. So therefore, so first part we have proved. Now we will consider the second inequality. So now to prove the second inequality by the previous theorem. So just we have proved one theorem in the previous session. So what is that theorem? Xi of G plus xi of G bar whole square is always less than or equal to, it is greater than or equal to 4 times the chromatic number of G into chromatic number of G bar. So that was the result already we have proved. So therefore, if I rearrange the terms, so what happens? It will be, so the chromatic number of G into chromatic number of G bar is always less than or equal to P plus 1 by 2 whole square, isn't it? It's very obvious. Okay. So therefore, what we can say? So we have proved the result, isn't it? So now we consider simple examples. So based on this result. So what is the question? Give two different graphs such that each satisfies chromatic number of G plus its complement is equal to P plus 1. It is less than or equal to P plus 1, but here the result is exactly equal to P plus 1. So you have to give two different graphs which satisfy this condition. Okay. Let us consider the graph KP. Let us consider the graph KP. So already if you consider a complete graph, what would be its complement? It is a totally disconnected graph with P number of vertices, that is Kp bar. Okay. So now what is the chromatic number of a complete graph? So chromatic number of a complete graph is nothing but every pair of its vertices are adjacent. It implies you cannot assign the same color to the adjacent vertices. When every pair of its vertices are adjacent, it implies we require P number of colors to color the complete graph. So for that reason, the chromatic number of a complete graph is equal to P. Okay. And what is the chromatic number of its complement? So when it is a complete graph, it implies every pair of its vertices are adjacent. Its complement is a totally disconnected graph with P vertices. So when it is totally disconnected graph with P vertices, it implies no two of its vertices are adjacent. it implies only one color is sufficient to color all the p vertices. So for that reason, the chromatic number of Kp bar is 1. So therefore, if you add the chromatic number of Kp and its complement, it will be p plus 1. So which satisfies the condition, the given condition. So this is one example which satisfies the condition. So Kp is one example. Similarly, we try to consider another example. Suppose G is a cycle with 5 vertices. Okay, you know already, as I said, it is a self-complementary graph. Okay, so if I ask you to find the complement of a cycle, so what you will get? Again you will get a cycle, because it is a self-complementary graph. And what is the chromatic number of a cycle with odd length? In the one of the sessions, in one of the previous sessions, we have discussed what is the chromatic number of a cycle with even length with odd length. So whenever it is a cycle with even length, the chromatic number is 2. Whenever it is a cycle with odd length, the chromatic number of such a cycle is 3. So since the graph C5 and its complement are isomorphic, it implies again it is C5 only. So therefore the chromatic number of C5 is 3 and chromatic number of the complement of C5 is also 3. So therefore if you add, it will be 3 plus 3, that is 6. But 6 can be written as 5 plus 1. 5 plus 1. But 5 is the number of vertices in either in C or in C bar. So number of vertices in a cycle with 5 vertices, that is p plus 1. P is the number of vertices in C5. So it implies C5 also satisfies the condition chromatic number of G plus chromatic number of G bar is equal to p plus 1. So these are the two graphs, that is the complete graph Kp and a cycle with 5 vertices which satisfies the given condition. Okay, so if they ask such questions, you must be able to answer the questions. Okay, so what we have discussed in this session, again we have recapitulated the complement of a graph. Again we have given a relation between the chromatic number of a graph and its complement in terms of inequality. Okay, and we took examples to consider based on the condition what are the graphs. Okay, so addition of the chromatic number of a graph and its complement and the product. Okay, so such examples also we have considered in this session. I hope you have followed everything. So these are the reference books already I have mentioned in the previous session also. So with this we conclude today's session. Okay, thank you.